Greetings, folks. Once again, it's retired Lincoln's Inn solicitor Farid El-Dawani here on Thursday, the 30th of November 2023. Farid El-Dawani, that is an Egyptian name because my father is Egyptian. He was a doctor here in England. My mother is German. And I'm Muslim, but I went to a Church of England primary school, and I am well versed in all aspects of Christianity, of course, and Islam. And I am familiar with a good bit of Judaism, the Torah and the Talmud. So well-rounded in all, and you will see in front of you the book, my latest book. It's called Lord Justice Bean, Islamophobia and the British Judiciary. Recently published. It's available on Amazon. And it's written, you will see, under my pen name of Frederick Wright. Window dressing, that name. It's a disguise in order to ingratiate myself with white England. People do take more notice when a traditional Englishman writes on a serious subject, especially the law. Lord Justice Bean's own religious faith, of course, regards the Prophet Muhammad as a false prophet or an impostor. Always bear that in mind. Of course, by the time the mendacious Mr. Bean delivered his 2023 court orders on the Solicitors Regulation Authority, Solicitors Disciplinary Tribunal, my Norwegian opponents, Ministry of Justice and Police, Norway, I had become public enemy number one for the judiciary. They expressed their dislike for my books, my many other books, and Lord Justice Bean was now doing their dirty work for them. I stood up to those out-of-touch bunch of fools, and my God, how they hated me for it. Far too many of them suffered from archaic, inbred attitudes and views. They seem to be infected by a herd mentality. When facing allegations of bias and Islamophobia, and indeed racism, the judiciary press their apartheid button and use their unimpeachable case management argument to defeat any complaint to the Office for the Investigation of Judicial Complaints. They say to themselves, we must be free to decide as we please, as we are an independent judiciary. We must be able to get on with things as we see fit. Master of the Rolls, Sir Geoffrey Voss, ruled on the 31st of July 2023 that in Lady Justice Sharp, when she was Mrs. Justice Sharp, and Lord Justice Popplewell, when those two refused, when asked, to condemn me, being told, thanks to the actions of my Norwegian High Court opponents, being told to go fuck under the camel, that my semen is only fit for a pig, that the Prophet Muhammad is a confused paedophile, asked whether I lick the arseholes of pigs clean before I eat them. A refusal to condemn that language, that vile language, by Mrs. Justice Sharp and Lord Justice Popplewell was not a sign of judicial bias against me or Islamophobia, ruled Sir Geoffrey Voss, Master of the Rolls. In his judgment, dated the 31st of July, the reason he gave, along with Lady Justice Falk and Lady Justice McClure, was that the need for condemnation did not fall to be decided. did not fall to be decided. Now that is bollocks. It most certainly did fall to be decided, because those insults were the very catalyst for my libel litigation. They were not peripheral to the main event. But they can be condemned even on the grounds of common humanity. You know, it's preposterous to say condemnation did not fall to be decided. It's pathetic. And it took them 12 years. It took the judiciary 12 years to come to that ex post facto conclusion. Did not fall to be decided. New blood is definitely needed at the Royal Courts of Justice. That systemic religious apartheid is enforced by the likes of Mr. Justice Sweeting, Mr. Justice J, Mrs. Justice May, Mrs. Justice Farby, Lord Justice Bean, Lord Justice Popplewell, Lady Justice Sharp, Lady Justice Falk, Lady Justice McClure, and Sir Geoffrey Voss. It was Mr. Justice Sweeting who gave me 8 months' prison in Wandsworth Prison, suspended for 18 months, because I told the Solicitors Disciplinary Tribunal that they were Islamophobic racist bigots. And I had good reason for saying that. Good reason. So if you get my book, you will see why I had good reason for saying that. So, Mr. Justice Sweeting, in 2021, he said that calling the Solicitors Disciplinary Tribunal repeatedly Islamophobic racist bigots was in breach of the injunction that the SDT got against me, in breach of the injunction not to use intemperate language unbefitting a solicitor. So, the words addressed to them that they were Islamophobic racist bigots was decreed as intemperate language unbefitting a solicitor, and I got 8 months prison, suspended for 18 months, thanks to Mr. Justice Sweeting. Now, Mr. Justice Sweeting is an Islamophobic bigot for giving me 8 months prison, suspended for 18 months. Okay, so there you have it. Unbelievable behaviour by Mr. Justice Sweeting. And you will find the behaviours of the other judges have been written about in great detail in my book on Lord Justice Bean. How much did the Solicitors Disciplinary Tribunal spend in getting that injunction and in the civil courts? They spent £103,000. £103,000 using a King's Counsel. Okay, just because I was criticising the SDT. Now, recently this month there's been vast criticism of the Solicitors Regulation Authority and the Solicitors Disciplinary Tribunal by solicitors, writing into the Law Gazette, Law Society Gazette, and Roll on Friday, that vast legal website, Roll on Friday. So all the criticism, the quotes, the hatred that the profession have got for the regulator, the SRA, and its stablemate, the SDT, all in my book. So do get it. And not only that, my criticism of the judiciary has been backed up by my former MP, Eric Pickles, Lord Pickles. He wrote to Chris Grayling in 2014, Lord Chancellor Chris Grayling in 2014, to ask for a meeting to see if the judicial conduct rules could be changed, to make it an offence of judicial misconduct, not to condemn behaviour from a judge that would upset a religious community. Indeed, there's a 1994 letter sent by the Lord Chancellor to the Lord Chief Justice in 1994, saying that it might well be judicial misconduct for a judge's behaviour to which upsets a religious community, which is, in my case, has happened. So I've got plenty of support on my side, and also I've got the support of the Manchester University Racial Bias and the Bench Report, November 2022, co-authored by Keir Monteith KC, King's Counsel, and you got a couple of professors there as well, in which they allege institutional racism in the judiciary. So there we are, and that's me there on a camel, sitting on a camel in Egypt. Okay, a pyramid in the background. So there we have it, Racial Bias in the Bench Report, Lord Justice Bean, Islamophobia and the British judiciary. And I hope this book is a catalyst for change. I've written several other books under the pen names Frederick Wright, Frederick Delaware, and of course I've written half a dozen books under my own name, Farid El-Diwani, which you can all buy on Amazon, and they are unique. They're groundbreaking books. Most solicitors, barristers still in private practice will not dare write critical books because they'll be in trouble with their regulator. But I'm a retired solicitor now. I was 30 years a solicitor. I was 10 years the commercial property solicitor for the Port of London Authority. And then I worked for nearly 5 years at 14 Old Square Lincoln's Inn. And, my experiences in the law have been written up in my books. But I do know what Islamophobia is about. I'm not an idiot moron who doesn't know what he's talking about. I do know what it's all about, and I hope once you read this book and my others, you will appreciate the problems that minorities have, but it's a problem that other British people may face themselves in the future. So please take heed and buy those books. All the best. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.